Well, tube. Today we have Dharma Punx by Noah Levine. All right, let's try this again. You're not gonna be able to see the cover. It just doesn't work. Noah Levine. He was born in 1971 in Santa Cruz, California. He's still alive. Uh, he is a Buddhist um, meditation teacher. His dad and stepmom were famous in the field. Uh, his teacher was Jack Cornfield. His mom and dad, I think, were part of. They were they hung out in the same area as like Ram Dass and them. Like they're like you know part of the same crew, you could say, I guess. So this is a story of a punk kid who grew up nothing but trouble, um, became divorced from his parents at the age of 16, bounced back and forth in and out of jail, out of youth centers, lived on the street, drug problems, the whole 9 yards. Um, had found love of the punk scene, uh, and essentially hit rock bottom. Ended up in jail. Was looking at a bunch of time for like graffiti and stuff. I don't know. Like part of this is kind of weird. Anyway, um, was facing a bunch of jail time. Talked to his dad. Dad taught him about mindfulness meditation, breath meditation, which sparked um, his desire to pursue it, get his life straightened out. Um, Essentially, he grew up in the scene. He knew as a young kid he knew Jack Cornfield, Ram Dass, that whole group of spiritual people. So he had a bit of a leg up, you know. Um, you know, when did the whole Asia trip, you know, um, and everything multiple times. Ended up starting um, his own non for profit targeting youth, troubled youth, and stuff like that, teaching them meditation and the Eastern philosophy. And so this is a book of sort of redemption, right? You know, um, for the most part, I loved it. I really liked it. I was a metalhead growing up. I wasn't like in legal trouble or anything, but um, I had my fair share of mistakes and everything. I turned out okay. Well, I mean, I think I turned out okay. Um, so parts of it, I kind of, it kind of clicked with me. Um, I think my main critique of it would be, he makes it sound like he's a major player in the punk scene. I don't know what the punk scene was like in the 80s, 70s, and 80s in California, but when I think of somebody that was like heavily involved in a scene, like I was a metalhead. Do I think I was in the metal scene? Not really. Does me with being with a group of friends going to metal shows, does that automatically make us part of the scene? I don't know. No, I don't think so. Like I wasn't in any metal bands. I wasn't like traveling the country being groupies or being a groupie or whatever. Um, so I think that's a little bit of a stretch, and also the fact of I think he made himself sound more trouble than he was. Now, granted, I don't know. I wasn't there. And drug problems and being homeless. Okay, I get that. But facing um, several years in prison over graffiti, like that. I mean, I just kind of. I mean, maybe so. Maybe in California, if you get caught doing graffiti, you end up going to San Quentin for 20. I don't know, but it seemed weird to me. Um, but so one of the things I like to do when I finish a book, I like to kind of I go to Goodreads, I mark it down, I do my little star rating like everyone else. Um, but I also like reading some of the comments to see um, how other people think of the book. And there were a lot of like hate for this guy. There's a lot of really bad reviews. Being if you're a punk, you're gonna expect people not to like it. Okay, I get it, but that's like the thing. You go into this thing knowing you should have known that you're not gonna like the guy too much, especially at the beginning. And you hope um, by the end of it, he finds his way and you can like the person. But then when before I started, before I sat down to do this video, I went to Wikipedia so I could get his birthday, where he was born, and the town and so on. What I like to do for the books, and then I found on his Wikipedia page allegations of sexual misconduct. And there you go. That's where the Goodreads hate's coming from. And yeah, it doesn't sound good. Um, I'm not going to go into it. I wasn't there. I don't know if it's true or not, and I don't want to. The problem I have is that when you don't really know, when you're not part of it. If I went in and I started talking about it, not knowing anything about it, I'm basically just feeding the gossip. Um, could it be true? Yes. Could it be false? Yes. I don't know. Um, but just by reading what was going on, if it is true, I mean that's terrible, um, terrible, terrible thing. He's not. It looks like that he's not allowed to. Basically, it looks like that his non-for-profit shut down, and he was no longer to be part of the Spirit Rock Meditation Center, which is the Jack Cornfield thing. So, um, which kind of makes me believe that there's something to it. But again, I don't know, and it's just unfortunate. And I finished the book kind of liking the guy too, and then come to find out, the whole abuse of power thing. It's just, and the thing is too, it's like if you read the book, um, you just kind of think, yeah, I mean, he, even though he's trying to do the right thing, maybe he did slip up and did not do it. What kind of, I don't even. I'm just kind of mumbling now, but by reading the book, you kind of have to believe that he's the type of person that this would happen to. So yeah, I don't know. I like to think that I can um, separate the book from the author. Um, but honestly, after I read this, I thought, oh, I can't wait to um, pick. Hopefully, I can find some more of his stuff. There we go. I am just mumbling all over my words right now. Hopefully, I can find more of his stuff and read it. But now it's just like, especially when it comes to take Hemingway for example. Hemingway was not a good person. We all know he wasn't a good person, but do you have to believe he was a good person to read A Farewell to Arms? But when somebody's talking about spirituality and getting your shit together, and then you find out that they're still a piece of crap. I mean, that right there. I mean, how do you separate that? How do you? I mean, you can't really. But again, I hate to I hate to make the guy guilty, even though I don't know. I don't know. He wasn't. As far as I know, he wasn't tried and convicted in a court of law. So theoretically, he's innocent. However, yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. And if you want to know more about the allegations, it's on his Wikipedia page. So by all means, if you want to go explore more into it, go for it. That's it for this one, peeps. Dharma Punx by Noah Levine. Just ignoring what I just went over. I mean, I like the book. It's a good book. However, I gotta wonder how full of caca he is in the book. So, um, it's unfortunate. That's it for this one, peeps. Cheers.